in Steve. So the only way that I did is just go to device manager, first of all, and I check every single driver, and I update it. Everything was perfect.
Okay.
And I had to change the whole thing, erase it, get a power point to start, and I just clean up. But it's still, it's pretty good. But somehow, when I check every day my update driver providers, it's updated. It was 2 days ago, but just like couldn't, so I have to erase it again and go back. I don't know what to do. It's working now, but like I said, somehow it come back.
Okay. All right. So go ahead.
We're going to talk about adware at all.
Adware?
Adware is great.
Well, we can talk about that. But before we leave today, I want to kind of put everything back into perspective, back to open source, right? Because that was our original topic, and we kind of do a big detour to malicious software. So the big question, okay, which I did not mention in my notes, not yet anyway, is open source software more secure or less secure compared to proprietary software? Proprietary software means no one except for the publisher has access to the software. So nobody knows how it works except for people who work for the publisher. Like Microsoft Windows is proprietary. We don't know exactly how it works, except we can just throw things at it and see how it responds. Linux, on the other hand, is open source. Okay, so the inner workings of Linux is completely open. Anyone with your programming experience can look into it and go like, I see how this works, I see how this works, and I see how this works. So the question is, does open source makes it easier for people to attack a particular system that is open sourced? Now I cannot color the interpretation, but I would just say that the publisher of proprietary software tell people that open source is less secure because hackers can now read the source code, study the source code to find a weak point, and then try to use the weak point to get into a system. Okay, so that's the argument used by proprietary software vendors. Yep.
I think in that regard it's true, but in another regard, a lot more people want to take down
the many I philosophy.
software.
Exactly. So the other philosophy, proposed, or supported by open source users is, well, because the source code is open, it is available for everyone to read. Now, anyone who is concerned about security can audit the source code and make sure that there are no weak points or intentional things that can be exploited. So, which way does it go? Now, we don't know exactly, because both argument is valid to a point. But Windows has been proprietary since day one. Okay, it has never been open sourced. But if you think about all the attacks, on Windows or anything or things that are related to Windows, versus all the things that can be launched against Linux, there's a big difference, right? If you look at all the possible attacks that a Windows system can receive, can get, it's a big, huge, long list. But if you look at Linux, it's a smaller list. Yep, go ahead.
Things like that. I mean, people argue that Macs are a lot safer and stuff like that for viruses, but one of the main reasons why both Linux
It's not worthy.
Exactly.
Yep.
There's so many more PCs, so many more Windows computers.
That is correct.
You're hitting such a larger demographic.
Yes, but in the case of Linux, it's a little bit different because Linux is not used a lot as a desktop operating system, but it is used a lot as a server platform, like a web server, a database server, a file server, and so on and so forth. So there are really good reasons to get into a Linux system because not only are you infecting a computer, but that computer would contain information of a lot of people, of a lot of things that are more important than just infecting a single system. Yep.
So would you say that the proprietary companies are attacked more because they're less open?
Well, they attack more because more people use their software. So simply because of proportion, if I'm a hacker, okay, will I spend my time writing a virus, or some kind of malware to attack, things that only would be 1% of all the computers, or would I do something that can attack 90% of all the computers in the world? I probably would go to the 90% one because it's a better use of my time. Now, on the other hand, the 1%, if the 1% contains information that are very critical, very useful, like an entire database of a credit card company, that may worth my time as well because I'm just getting one credit card number here, another credit card over there. I'm getting an entire database of credit card numbers or social security numbers. But if you look at a track record, it's not like Linux cannot be infected. It can be infected. But when you look at all the patches and stuff like that, they are. I would say they're better maintained, because there are more people involved in the project and say, okay, I was just browsing the source code and I found this problem, and then they just submit the change and go like, okay, let's fix it before somebody can actually make use of that weakness. But in the case of Windows, unless someone reports a problem, it's not going to get attention. Yep.
Could you even argue that the people updating the system could be the very people who would use it for malicious reasons?
To update.
Well, like if you looked at the source code and you're like, hell, I could make a virus here. Well, I don't want to get that virus. Better update it.
I don't know. Well, we can continue this on next Tuesday. Have a very nice long weekend, and I appreciate you being here today. If you have not signed or put your name on the roll sheet, please do it now because this is a roll-taking thing, and people can get dropped because of the lack of attendance. So make sure you write your initial next to your name.
Do you want me to sign that, Professor? I was late. Do you want me to sign that?
Yes. Late is better than not being here, so that's okay.
That's what I thought.
I prefer you not to be late, but if you're late, it's still better than not being here.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, it is.
So now you remember.
Yeah.
All right. So I need to sign this.
And where's the dean for your thing? Cause they told me I gotta carry it to the dean or
Yes,
whatever
you need
it
to
is.
get it to the dean, and you also need an ad form. There's another ad form you have to fill in. They have it in the office, but I have to sign that too. I'll be in my office at noon, so you might want to stop by at noon so I can sign the other.
Cause I'll be in my other class, and they told me that you're supposed to be able to have on your computer or whatever it is for you to be able to redo that re-add and stuff.
No, I cannot. Student was.
So I don't know why they turned around and said that, but. So there's another form at that office that I gotta get?
Yeah, they will tell you what you need to do.
Yeah, cause that's pretty when they highlighted it. They highlighted that and told me that's all I need. Get you to do that, and then carry it to your dean.
Give it a try, and if that's all you need, that's all you need, right?
Okay. So where's the dean for here? I mean, for
It is
you.
room 133. It's room 133, which is one aisle over on that side. It's a glass door.
Okay.
It has a glass door, so you get, you open the glass door, you walk into it, and there will be like a window inside one of the offices.
Okay.
So that's where you want to kind of ask them what to do it.
Okay. So room 133.
Room 133. Yes. Liberal Arts 133.
So I'm in
All right,
a
thanks.
class right now. So I just had a quick question. So I wanted to know for the Ubuntu. I had a screenshot to do there, and I wanted to copy the screenshot from Ubuntu to Microsoft Word. I'm not able to do it. So how would I be able to do it?
It depends on Ubuntu or how you install it. I have, under accessories, I have like a screenshot tool, and that can do the screenshot. I believe that control print screen may work too, alt print screen. So you have to save it as a file, and then you have to transfer the file to Windows to turn it in. If you can turn it in inside Ubuntu, that's okay too.
So is the open office in Ubuntu a doc?
It can save as a .docx, yes. Yeah. But as an image, you probably want to just save it as a PNG unless your professor asks for a .docx. That's strange. I think you can send him just a bitmap, like a PNG. Yeah, because the DocX is really big and it takes a lot of room on the computer. Yep.
My due date is gonna be on next week. I hope I'm gonna miss 2 classes. I don't know yet.
Okay.
And I will email you when I have.
Okay, so let me just write it down before I forget. What's your last name?
Tekla Haymanot.
Which one?
Tekla Haymanot. Okay, here.
Okay, so I'll just write down here.
Okay.
Okay, jury duty. So that would be 219.
Yes. But I don't know yet. Maybe
Okay,
a week.
that's
and
fine. But this
just
way I
let
know
you
that I
know.
won't
Yes,
count
I
you
will
as absent.
email you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for letting me know.
very much.
Yes.
I checked my Moodle this morning.
Uh-huh.
I'm not in the class anymore.
You're not in the class anymore.
Or does it show me?
What is your name? Last name?
Force?
Not Force. Okay. I think I know why you're. Okay. It's because you have two.
One you waved because I had a doctor appointment. I talked to you then, and then I saw you on Thursday right before my
Okay.
class.
Okay, so you need to be re-added to the class. I'm
Yes.
sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay, so you need to get the forms and then I'll sign it off.
Okay.
So you might want to get it done like, I think the office have both of those forms. So follow me to the office if you can. And
I
then
will
we'll
get
get
no
those
problem.
things.
As soon as we get out of class, I'll just follow you.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Yep.
I missed last class because my car broke down.
Okay.
Yeah, it was only just repaired
What's your last
earlier
name?
today. Ryan Botsgaard.
Ryan.
Right there at the top.
The top? Oh, okay. So this is where your car broke down?
Yep.
Okay, so cross it out and I'll say wrong. Okay, so now you're excused for
I
that.
wish I could write that small. It's excellent.
Yep. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. I knew we had it legit.
Yep.
No problem.
Yep. So we will just go through the paperwork and then they can add you back into the system.
Yeah, because I was going to also, I sent you an email. I guess you didn't get it, so I'll discuss it with you after class.
Okay. To cross that out so I don't count you. Yes. All right. Class is free. In the normal years of this class, like not right now it's kind of like crazy. In a normal year of this class, the dropout rate is about 50%. Yeah, statistically speaking. Okay, I'm not saying that half the class here has to leave. I'm simply saying historically speaking, the average dropout rate is between 40 to 50% for this class. For this kind of class, it's P300.
What about your C310?
C310 is a different thing. C310 usually has a very low dropout, because that's really kind of like an overview of stuff. It's not very technical. So people can usually get through that class without any problems. And then they get to the scratch portion.
Yeah. Maybe it's the instructor.
Maybe it's the instructor? Maybe.
Ouch.
That's good.
No, I don't.
What's the dropout rate as the classes get harder? I mean, would it get lower because more people basically getting filtered?
For this class?
Yeah, after 300, like to 360.
After 300, we still continue to have like at least 30% of dropout rate. It's for one reason or another. Some people get a job and they move, or there are many other reasons other than just because of the difficulty of the class. But I try my best to make sure that people understand what programming is about in this class, so they don't have to go through many different classes until then they find out